you one of the biggest lies our generation believe is that one day we're going to wake up feeling ready to read our Bible, ready to be more consistent, ready to work on our goals, ready to be more disciplined. So we keep waiting. On Monday I'll start. No, next week I'll definitely be serious. Next year is definitely my year. But for how long have you been telling yourself that? A year? 6 months, 3 months, 3 years? Because if you're being honest, the problem here is not that you lack motivation. The problem is that you've made motivation your leader. And I cannot stress this enough, that feelings make terrible leaders. If I only prayed when I feel like praying, my relationship with God would suck. If students only studied when they felt like studying, they will probably fail exams. If farmers only planted when they felt inspired to plant, we would be starving, literally. So why do you feel like that does not apply to your everyday life? God cannot build a life of purpose through you if you keep waiting to feel motivated before you do something. So today I'm going to challenge that mindset, because I don't think a lot of us are waiting for motivation. We're using motivation as an excuse to not even get started at all. How every January gyms are full? People buy the workouts plan, people buy the journals, they go on Pinterest, download the pics. Everybody's all about vision boards, and this is definitely my year. Then February comes and things go quiet, and I so much love this part, because this is where you can separate those who build their routine based on discipline and those who actually built it on motivation. Because feelings are important, feelings are relevant, but they cannot carry you throughout the entire race. There'll be days where your hormones do you dirty. There'll be days where you don't feel like getting up from bed at all, and that is why you need your why, which leads me to my anchor verse of the day, Colossians 3 verse 23. Whatever you do, work with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters. I so much love this verse, because Paul is telling us something we normally don't like to hear, and that is whatever you do. Notice he did not say when you feel like doing it. He did not say when the weather was sunny. He did not say when we feel like our hormones are good or balanced. He said, whatever you do, work with all your heart as working for the Lord. Now I want you to do something for me. Replace that part with your why. Why are you doing that thing? Why are you doing your channel? For example, when I started my channel, I started with the mindset that I wanted to reach young souls. I wanted to reach people like me, my age, people who are ambitious, young teenagers who want to live in purpose, who want to go about doing something with God, doing something relevant in society. That was my why, and that has kept me through the days where my content only got 4 views. That has been my why. You need to have your why. So okay, you've heard me. You've heard that okay, we shouldn't build our days, our routine based on motivation but on discipline. But how do you eventually stay consistent? And that leads me to the first step of today's video. Stop negotiating with your feelings. Can I tell you why I find it so hard to stay consistent? And you might actually relate with this example. In the morning, the alarm goes off, and then you tell yourself, 5 minutes more, I accept it, now I'm just tired. And before you look, an hour's passed and you wake up and you feel like dirt. Why? You negotiated with your feelings. And this applies to your spiritual life and your everyday life. Maybe God placed an idea of a ministry in your heart, or starting a channel online, and you start negotiating with it in the name of, I don't have the fancy gadget, I don't have the team, God, I don't feel confident enough to start it. You are negotiating with it, and then you look back 1 year time and you wonder, why haven't you grown? Guy, you negotiated with your feelings. That is exactly what you did. And can I tell you something? Your excuses will always win. Believe it or not, they will always win. And like our verse says in Colossians, whatever you do, I need you to highlight that line. Whatever you do, keep that in your mind. Not when you feel ready to do some things, not when you feel like you have the fancy gadgets, but whatever you do, work with all your heart. A part of working wholeheartedly is doing things no matter what. Just start. That's the message. Maybe you're like, okay, I've heard you. I need to start doing the channel. I need to start whatever it is that God has placed in my heart. But how do I stay consistent? Maybe your problem is that you lack consistency, and that leads me to the next step. Stop chasing motivation. Build discipline. Can I tell you something that took me a while to understand? Is that the people you admire, who you feel are more disciplined than you, who go out there and do what they're going to say they're going to do, they are not more disciplined than you. They've just mastered one act, and that is movement comes before your excuses. For example, I don't always feel like posting content online. Sometimes it feels cringy to me, but I've mastered the act of my movement comes before my excuses. Before my excuses have a second to step in, I've stepped in front of the camera. You need to master that act. That you need to build discipline. Discipline will carry you longer than motivation. Motivation is bullshit. I strongly believe that this thing is bullshit. There are times where I want to speak in front of the camera, or I want to speak in public, and I'm looking for my motivation, and I'm like, I'm not motivated to do this thing. Why? Motivation doesn't work. Anybody that tells you, okay, motivation for this, that is a lie. Motivation do not work. You need to master the act of discipline. And like our verse says, whatever you do, not when you feel like it, not when you feel motivated for it. I don't believe that word motivation. Whether I like it or not, I do not believe it. You need to master discipline. And that is choosing what you want most over what you want now. For example, you might want to watch more reel. You might want to watch reels for 5 more minutes on Insta, but you need to choose reel. Watching a reel will take you to where you want to be in 5 years' time, or spending time with God, reading your Bible, working on your dreams, take you to where you want to be in 5 years' time. That is just discipline. It's not this hard thing that you need to start watching 20 YouTube videos about. It's just mastering the act that I need to decide my heart. I need to decide what will take me to where I want to be in 5 years' time. You need to choose your heart. The people who go to the gym every day, they don't feel motivated to do that. I will tell you that we don't feel always motivated to do that act. No, we have just mastered discipline. You can master it as well. You should master it as well. Stop leaning on motivation. You need something stronger than just those bullshit motivation. You need discipline. Okay, you've learned that we should deal on discipline and not motivation, but this is the part many people get stuck. Stick with me, because I think this is the most important part, and that is you are building routines that make it impossible to even stay disciplined at all. So let me explain. Your environment is making it easy to get distracted. Now stick with me, because you will definitely relate to this one. You wake up in the morning and the first thing you pick up is your phone. Why? Because your phone was placed directly beside your bed. Imagine you placed your Bible there. Imagine you placed a letter which said work on your goals, or get up and do what you said you're going to do, or you placed your gym clothes there. Imagine you did that. Your environment shapes how you do. Your environment shapes how your morning goes. I don't care. If I wake up and my room is messy, there's a big chance I'll have a messy day. If I wake up in the morning and I scroll on TikTok, there's a big chance I will get distracted throughout the entire day. Now, a lot of people say place your vision boards directly towards the first thing you see in the morning. Maybe you brush your teeth first thing in the morning. Maybe you use the restroom first thing in the morning. Place your vision boards directly beside it. Maybe what you need to do, listen to me. Maybe what you need to do is place something I usually do is when I set an alarm in the morning, maybe because I want to work on this video very early, so I have time to edit this video. I place this alarm across the room and I make sure it's very loud so I can hear it, right? I place it across the room, so when it rings, I cannot say, okay, 5 minutes more. No, I have to get up from my bed, wear my slippers, and go and off the alarm. From offing the alarm, I can go and have tea, and look, I've started. I've got up. Maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe you need to place the phone across the room. Maybe you need to place your dream clothes across your bed. Maybe you need to place your Bible beside. Maybe it's a letter. Whatever it is that will make you understand that, okay, this is what we need to do, so that you stop relying on motivation. And like our verse says, whatever you do, remember that. Highlight that part, because sometimes working wholeheartedly means creating habits, creating your environment to support what you say you are going to do. So far, we've learned why your feelings make terrible leaders. We learned why discipline is stronger than motivation, why your environment shapes your habits. But I think the last point is the one that changes everything. Because once you master this one, you stop asking, how do I stay motivated? And you start asking a better question. So let's talk about that one. Stop looking for a new feeling. Start becoming a different person. Can I ask you something? Whenever you lose motivation, what is the first thing you do? You instantly look for another motivation. You watch another YouTube video, you download another quote, you save another video, you tell yourself, okay, let's look for a new motivation. Why is that? Because your mood or how you operate does not rely on what you know. It relies on what you do repeatedly. For example, do you think about going to brush your teeth? Do you debate whether you're going to brush your teeth in the morning? No, because that has become your normal. Imagine if talking to God became that normal. Imagine if working on your goals became that normal. Imagine if getting up in the morning and going to the gym became a normal thing to you. That is where consistency starts becoming your daily life, start becoming your daily bread, because you've mastered the act that this is not something I get to debate with. This is just my everyday life. This is something I've done. This is something I'm consistent with. this is just my everyday life, and I just get up and I do it without thinking about it. You need to focus so much on your identity instead of your motivation. Ask yourself, who is God shaping me to become? And fall in love with that thing, so that faithfulness becomes a normal thing. It becomes something you enjoy. It becomes something you don't even think about. You just do it. So maybe you don't need another motivational video. Maybe you need new habits. You need new systems. You need things that feel normal to you. You need to break down the routine. Break down the routine to suit your life. To suit your life. Whatever you do it with all your heart, as well as working for the Lord. Sometimes it means understanding that God is shaping us into something, and that requires us to become a new person. We cannot take up an old identity, the identity that slips into where God is taking us to be. We need to work wholeheartedly, and that requires us sometimes to build new habits, new systems, new behaviors that take us there. But here's the last step, and to me, this is what the person who has watched this video thus far, this is what you need to hear. So let's talk about that last one. Your future is built one ordinary day at a time. I am still learning this one personally. Your future is built one ordinary day at a time. Maybe you don't need a giant step. Maybe you don't need the 50 morning workout plan. Maybe you need one ordinary step, because sometimes God often prepares us in ordinary seasons, in seasons when things feel slow. I remember when my first YouTube video got 4 views, and there's a big chance it's still at 4 views, but do I care? No, because this is my planting season, this is my preparation season, so that I don't need motivation to make me understand that this is what God is doing for me this season. I don't need motivation to even get up and do this video, because I know this is my planting season, and my future, whatever I do, whatever each video I post, is me planting a seed. And that is the fact that my future is built on ordinary days when I get up and I post the video even when I don't feel like it, ordinary days when I don't wait for motivation and I do it based on the fact that this is my planting season. Maybe you're in a planting season, I don't know. Maybe you are in a season where you are getting 4 views like me. Maybe you're in a season when things are not working out for you. You don't need more motivation. You need to understand the fact that your future is built on ordinary days. You don't need a giant leap. I say this a lot, that your future isn't built on giant steps. Please get rid of the mindset that your future is built on one big leap. No, plant one seed today, water it tomorrow, come back again, water it tomorrow, plant another seed, water it tomorrow, but wait and see how it grows with time. So here's my final challenge to you. Pick one thing you've been delaying. Start today. Don't wait for motivation. Be faithful for the next 7 days. Pick one thing. Write it right now as I'm speaking. Pause the video. Pick one thing and work on it. Be faithful with it. Don't wait for motivation for the next 7 days, and do well to check in with me, or you can even comment the thing that you are going to be working on, so I know that you are taking up this challenge. Check in with me, because I make sure I read each and every one of my comments, and I try my best to respond to each and every one of them, so you will definitely be acknowledged, and we can actually keep each other accountable in this challenge. Who knows? I will be doing my own thing. Mine will be strictly posting more shorts, posting more on my community tab. I'm going to pick that and try to be consistent with it for the next 7 days. So you can tell me yours and we can hold each other accountable. Hold me accountable, please. Hold me accountable. So let's return to where we started. Colossians 3 verse 23. Whatever you do, work with all your heart as though working for the Lord. You are not working for your feelings, you are working for the Lord. You are not working for this, you are working for your wife. Remember that. Remember that in every season, that our feelings don't dictate how we move. We work with all our hearts because we are doing this for God, because we are doing this for a greater good. We have our why, we have our reasons. We've learned discipline, we've learned consistency. We are no longer waiting for motivation, and that is just it. If this video challenged you or inspired you, kindly leave a comment for me before you go. Maybe you can leave these emojis for me before you go. I love you so much. And remember, don't just talk about God's purpose. Don't just dream about working in God's purpose. Work in it. Work in it, step in it every day. I love you so much, and I'll see you next time in my next video. Bye.